Now, just as the country is consumed with events like Ferguson, Selma, now Madison, Wisconsin, comes the Colored Museum, a play that makes no apologies over what it's really about.
We are very pleased to bring you yet another Mama on the Couch play. A searing domestic drama that tears at the very fabric of racist America.
Originally written in the mid-'80s, the Huntington Theater Company's revival includes many current references. GBH News Arts editor Jared Bowen joined me. Nice to see you.
Happy to be here for the maiden voyage.
Thank you so much. Obviously, the title's intended to provoke, does it?
It is absolutely a provocative piece. I mean, it's fascinating to think that the Colored Museum was written, as you mentioned, more than 25 years ago, and here we are in this era where we're having so much conversation about race, and there was such sensitivity, and there's violence around race now, and now here's a piece which dives right into the heart of it, every stereotype, attitude, everything to provoke, and it's supposed to be a comedy. We have one clip here. It's called The Hair Piece. And this is something you find a woman here played by a man sitting down. He's got his mannequins on either side of him. And this is, I'll let the piece speak for itself so I don't get into trouble here.
Fair enough.
You're gonna need all the attitude you can get. And there is nothing like attitude and a healthy head of kinks to make his shrivel like it should. That's right. When you wearing me, you letting him know he ain't gonna get no sweet talking comb through your love without some serious resistance. No, no. The kink of my head is like the kink of your heart, and neither is about to be hot pressed into surrender. That
So I'm watching you as we're watching that, and you're laughing, but sort of uncomfortable. You uncomfortable laughing at this thing? Were you self-conscious when you were there?
You know,
you're a white guy, you know that. Yes. Okay, fine.
I am white, and I was very aware.
Were you really?
I was, because this is an experience, I feel like, because I'm going in as a white person, very, very aware, again, of all the dialogues, of all the prejudices in our country and everything that we're facing right now, and I'm laughing at these stereotypes, and I'm thinking, is it okay to laugh? And I'm looking around to the African-American members in the audience, and I will be very blunt with you and say that I looked directly across the aisle at me where there was a black man sitting thinking, okay, he's laughed,
so I can laugh now too?
I mean, it's because there's so much that comes to the fore. So the director of this piece is Billy Porter, won the Tony Award a couple years ago.
For the drag queen
for playing Kinky Boots.
Yeah.
So we're great fortune to have him here directing this piece. I spoke to him earlier today for my show, Open Studio. But I asked him what he wants to get out of audiences sharing that I had this experience, and here's what he had to say.
Everybody knows what it feels like to be hurt. Everybody knows what it feels like to have a struggle. You know, this particular struggle, this African-American struggle, is very resonant because the more things change, the more they stay the same. So I feel like this is a call to action.
So what is the call to action? I know it's satire and I know it's comedy, but there's obviously a lot more there.
Well, it's extremely funny until it's not. And when it's not, it's very, very searing. The opening piece was, so the Colored Museum is 11 different exhibits that you're seeing in this museum piece. And it's everything from a soldier's story, a soldier's secret, to musical numbers, to a piece called The Last Mama on the Couch
That was
play.
my favorite name,
which is a take on Raisin in the Sun.
It makes fun of Raisin in the Sun?
It does. It does. It's going to the sacred cow material here, and so you see these pieces, and then suddenly you realize what you're watching, and it just twists on a dime. You have this great music and this great rousing number, and all of a sudden you're talking about African rhythms and how that's a part of their genetic DNA, and then all of a sudden a man in blackface comes through beating a drum, and you're just frightened beyond belief for what you've just seen and how it's led you in that direction.
How long is it there?
This is here through April 5th.
I love that you were candid about your discomfort, by the way. Someday I'll tell you a story about having gone to the vagina monologues, and I was the only man in the whole audience, and that's a whole different story. So April 5th, you know, Jared, we should say, you and I in the near future, in the next week or so, are actually going to go to a cultural event together. We're going to review it together, professional and amateur, and then we're going to tell people what we think.
All right, I look forward to it.
Jared,
I'm going to pick a really good one for us.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward. Jared Bowen, it's great to see you, arts
to see you.
editor for WGBH News.